Hello, welcome to another episode of Shine Like a North Star. My name is Carrie Burchell and I am the president of North Star Coaching. Our focus is on helping leaders slow down to go fast. We really focus on interpersonal communication because that is where the trust starts happening so that we can build really functioning teams and increase productivity in the end. It's not all about productivity, but in the space of COVID and change and so many things coming at us, that trust is paramount if we're going to produce the things that are going to pull us out of this unheralded space. So my name's Carrie. Hello, welcome. If you've not joined us before, give me a thumbs up in the comments. I'd love to have new people join. That's so great. I'd love to also know a little bit about what's happening in your day. So tell me if you're working from home or if you commuted today. Work at home or commute. Let me know in the comments. It's always neat to know my audience and where they're coming from. Today's LinkedIn Live, and it will be reposted on Facebook and other social media platforms, we're talking about that dreaded voice in your head. You ever have that stop talking? And that voice that really just gets in the way of us shining like a North Star, right? So why does that matter? We look at teams. We talked already about how important it is for leaders to really build that trust on their teams. That voice in the leader's head, if it's nattering away, can really impede the leader's confidence, which really unconsciously influences that team's ability to come together and gel. It influences the team's psychological safety. So that voice in our head is really important to manage because it affects your confidence as a leader. And your confidence shifts onto your team. When they feel like you're calm and steady and you're the even keel in the boat, that team thinks they can manage anything. When your confidence wavers, your team doesn't feel as stable. Their psychological safety is at risk, which influences their ability to be innovative, problem solving, and ultimately be extra productive. So let's talk through 3 tips to manage that interpersonal sensitivity. To manage the head noise. First one is talk back to the head noise. Yeah, I love this, right? So you have the head voice talking and you just shut up. What are you saying? That's a bunch of noise, right? Whatever your line is, get it going. Talk back to that head noise. So, if your dog's barking a ton as the mail person comes, what do you say to your dog? Stop talking. What are you doing? Use that same language to this invisible voice that tries to get in your head. If you think of somebody who's just ticked you off driving, done something really rude or unsafe, what do you say to that person, maybe out loud in your car or maybe in your head? Use that same line. This doesn't have to be like a made-up thing. We all get ticked off and kind of draw boundaries, right? Draw boundaries with that head noise. Talk back to the head noise. Sounds awkward, really weird maybe if you've never done it before. What's powerful about talking back to the head noise is you are consciously telling your brain that voice doesn't matter. And you're wiring your brain to really be more confident. You're training your brain to listen to the good voices and ignore the bad ones. Okay, tip number 1, talk back to the head noise. Tip number 2, I forgot this part of tip number 1. When you talk back to the head noise, be sure you give yourself some credit, right? That's an awkward thing to do, and you need to recognize it as a positive thing. I shut that down. It went away. Be conscious of how powerful that skill is and give yourself a little pat on the back when you talk back to the head noise. Okay, tip number 2. Let's look at that. You want to think through the what if, right? So if your head voice and the noise is telling you that's not going to work, the audience isn't going to like that, the project's not going to be approved anyway, the person probably doesn't want the job that we're trying to fill that you just interviewed, I might get laid off with job insecurities. I'm thinking of the voices that my coachees tell me that they're going through and hearing. as I coach different clients, right? We all have this voice in our head, this bit of just doubt. It's part of what helps us survive. So when you have someone saying, oh, my company's, under stress financially, I might lose my job, think through, what if I did lose my job? And that's not to say that you want to perseverate on the negativity. This is really just a healthy strategy and tip to say, well, it would suck if I lost my job. I'd apply for more jobs. I'd redo my resume. I'd probably brush up on my interview skills. I'd get another job. We're in a national shortage, right? And as you think through the what if, the rational part of your brain starts kicking in, right? And it would suck if I lost my job, redo the resume. Gosh, I don't know if there's the similar job out there. I'd have to learn a bunch of things. But there's a national shortage of employees out there. I'm sure I can find a job. Well, I might have to move. It would be terrible to move, but, well, I've moved before. So, and the rational brain starts saying, come on, we could find another job. You've moved before, right? Oh, my family's not going to like that very much, but we're not really happy with X or Y where we currently live. And you can talk through the what if and see rationally that there are some ways that you would work through this, right? You've been through something similar. You've shown that grit before. Let's say that you're really trying to interview someone because you're short-staffed and the person you really want, oh, they're probably not going to take it. Well, this isn't the first time you've interviewed people. It's not the first time that you've been maybe declined if somebody really wants to be a part of that. So think through, okay, what if that bad thing happens and, oh, I have grit, I have tenacity, I've been through other challenges before, and you'll start seeing yourself pulling through some of that head talk. That noise starts to dissipate because you've been rationally challenging yourself to, okay, let's think through this. Good. Third one is see yourself through someone else's eyes, right? So you have this really nasty voice going on here and you're trying to tap that away. Well, who is somebody that you love and admire? And what would they say about you? So maybe it's a best friend. Maybe it's pet, right? My dog definitely feels when I'm stressed, and I get stressed because I listen to that head noise, right? So, gosh, what does my dog want me to be like when I come home from work? What does my dog want me to feel when we're cuddling in bed at night? And yes, I have an 80-pound dog, and I let her in the bed. I should have never done that 7 years ago, right? I want the dog to feel my comfort. I want the dog to feel my calm. And so when the head noise starts poking up and rearing its head, I want to say, well, the dog doesn't want me to stay in this space. More importantly, right? I've got a best decision of my life, 28-year partner. He would not want me to perseverate on this stuff. In fact, last night I said to him, I've got a story in my head that I need to talk through with you so that I chase the story away. I knew that I was having some head talk and I needed him to help me see how I show up in the situation through his eyes. It was very powerful, right? Really diluted my worries and that head noise right away. So what happens if we implement these 3 strategies? Talk back to the head noise, think through the what if, because you've got it covered, and seeing something through the other person's eyes? Well, we just feel calmer. Right? We show up better. We feel sure about our ability to navigate the future. And those character traits start resonating with the people around us. So whether or not you want your church group to feel like you've got a plan, whether it's your kids and they're navigating the teenage years, whether it's guest visiting, I just had my in-laws in town for 5.5 weeks, whether it's uncertainty at work, you're implementing some change that you can just tell is you're going to face resistance. Whatever it is, if you show up calmer, if you show up in control of what's happening in your heart and your head, things will go better. You will come certainly closer to achieving your goals, if not surpassing them. Manage that head talk. You've got this. You are the whole package. The people that I coach and the companies that I consult with to help them navigate change, to really grow into the realities of whatever the circumstance is that they're facing, these people struggle with the head talk. Everybody does. And really successful leaders have a way to manage the head talk so that it doesn't become the reality, right? Push that head talk away so that you can shine your best like the North Star. I'm Carrie Burchill. I would love to know which of the 3 strategies resonated most for you. Give me a 1, 2, or a 3. Are you a talk back to the head noise person? Are you somebody who thinks through the what if? Or do you want to see yourself through someone else's eyes? Give me a commitment. Which one resonates the most with you? And I'd love to hear how managing your head talk helps you achieve your ambitious goals. Have a great day.